Welcome to the Drexel Seymour Show, a show that we want you to rise up and take your position. And we do this through stories with different individuals or even just with me. Well, today I have my classmate, my high school classmate, one of my high school classmates, Carolyn Jean Ellis, who probably from I think she was about 3 years old, was diagnosed with a skin disease called vitiligo. I believe I'm pronouncing correct. We want to talk about that because a lot of people really faced with this, and it doesn't seem like there is a cure. Some people have it all over their body. Their skin has discolored. They became those people are dark. They became very, very light skin. And sometimes people discriminate against individuals on how they look. And the truth is, these individuals were born like this, but yet we treat them differently. And we want this show to be an educational show, and we hope that you are encouraged and you are inspired and you will start treating people differently. I mean, from a positive point of view. Don't treat them differently because they look different. Treat them differently because they are just as important as you are. And so today, I want to welcome Jean Ellis Outten to the Drexel Seymour Show. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, Jean, before we go into the discussion, who is Jean?
My name is Carolyn Jean Ellis Outten, but everyone knows me as Jean. And I'm from South Caicos, the daughter of Ines Ellis and George Ellis, better known as Mark.
That's right.
But I grew up with my aunt, Nina, who was my daddy's sister, and her husband, Mr. Gibbs, Mr. Alexander Gibbs. So this is Jean.
And Jean, you are also a dental hygienist?
A dental nurse.
A dental nurse?
Yes.
What else, Jean? You're a mother of two?
Yeah, I'm a mother of two. I have 2 girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I now work with government in Employment Services Department as a senior case worker supervisor.
Yeah. So Jean, tell us about this story. Because I remember when you and I went to school together, I used to see these things on your skin. Mm-hmm. And I never questioned it, but I used to look at it, and I thought maybe you would, gone through some sort of accident where you burn. Mm-hmm. And I thought that's what's causing. I had no idea that there was something called vitiligo. Tell us about it when you recognized, or when your family recognized, and how did they recognize that?
Okay, when I was about probably 8, I started asking my mother questions as to what disease on my leg. Well, she told me that when I was 2 years old, that she noticed a white spot on my knee, mm-hmm. my left knee. And after a while, it just started spreading. And of course, as any mother would be, she was, very concerned. So she took me to the Bahamas several times to find out what it is. And, we couldn't tell. But after a couple of years, she said that it just stopped. And she was thankful that it stopped. But then
stopped spreading?
It stopped spreading. Mm. It stopped spreading. And, I always used to check it to see if it moved, if it looked like it spreaded. But no, it stayed there for years, for many, many years. And, it used to have me very worried because I used to be imagining, suppose this thing just spread all over my skin, what do I have to do? Mm-hmm. I'm going to be so ashamed, I have to stay in, and people come to the house and pass me things, Mm-hmm. So fear took over. But after I noticed it wasn't spreading, I just said, okay, it's just going to be there. Mm-hmm. But growing up, I look at my friends wearing their short pants or their short skirts, and I'm not able to do that. I used to be a little jealous,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I have to be wearing long skirts to cover it because, I want to hide it. I don't want nobody to see that. So when we started wearing pants now, the long pants, I was too happy. I said, okay, then I could wear my long pants mm-hmm. and nobody even would know that I have this, mm-hmm. But then sometimes I want to show off too on my little shorts. And when people notice it, what's that on your leg, Mm-hmm. What's that? And then I have to explain and They don't understand. First thing they usually do ask is, you got burned?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you got burned, because they used to tease me when I was small and say, oh, you got burned up leg, you know what I mean?
Oh,
so
wow.
it used to make me feel so bad.
Oh, I'm sorry you went through that.
Yeah, so bad.
I didn't teach you, did I?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we were close, and, my close friends, they never really teased me like that or what I know of, but, I just used to put it at the back of my mind. But later down, say in 2005, I noticed some little spots coming on my knuckles, those small spots coming on my knuckles, and like it would just go away after a period of time.
Like when what year was this when you noticed it?
2005.
2005.
Okay, so this was from like when I was 2. It stopped. Probably when I'm not too sure, between 2 and 5, it stopped. And then nothing happened no more until 2005. I noticed those tiny little spots on my hands. And it would be there. Then after a while, it would just disappear. I was like, oh, thank God it's gone. Then coming around, say, October, getting colder months, not really colder, but during that time, I noticed October, November, December, I would see it coming back again. And when it come back, it will be a little bigger. And I was like, wow. I said, boy, this thing look like it's gonna spread on my hands. And I was working with a Cuban doctor at that time, and she noticed it on my hands, and she said, Nurse Jean, I think you have something they call in Cuba named vitiligo. And I was like, what? And she said, yes. Say, check it out. So anyway, later on that evening, I researched, and that is definitely what I believe it was.
So prior to that, no one told you about vitiligo or vitiligo?
I've never even heard the word. Yeah, because as I said before, I went to doctors and they were saying, some of them were saying that it's probably a birthmark. So I was like, but it was spread? And they said, yeah, sometimes birthmarks do spread. And then they had a dermatologist here some years ago, and I went to him. And he also told me, it's a birthmark. And I was like, man, I don't think so. So he said, it can be. I say, so it didn't come like when I was born, it just came like 2 years old. He said, sometimes it happened, it just started to get brighter. So anyway, after she told me about vitiligo, I said, let me read it up. And when I did my research on Google, I saw the same way how it started on my knee. They showed a picture of someone. They had it probably at a young age also. And it was just on that side. And it just stopped. And they said it could...
Just like your story.
Yes. And it could occur again later down in life, say probably 30 years or so later. And so I was there saying, oh, Lord, this is me. This is me. So, it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, shoot, I hide my leg. I cannot hide my hands.
Right.
All kind of things I was thinking.
So even inside your hand, I see.
Yes, inside
as well.
And then here, I have a little bit on my face, but thank God for makeup. I put a little makeup to hide it a little bit.
Yeah, I see some people have it all over their face. That's the same thing?
Yes. I mean, well, it could be different things, but you have people with vitiligo who have it all over. But what encouraged me is that I started seeing people with it.
Okay. So you didn't feel alone?
No, I didn't feel alone, especially when I went to the UK. I saw a lot of people, and I was like, oh, shoot, this is the same thing I have. And, these people living a normal life. So what I worried about, and then people started encouraging me too. Even here, people encourage me and say, Jean, you don't have nothing to worry about.
But were you worried, you were worried, I guess, about what people think, huh? Is that what you're worried about?
Yes, because, I mean, when you have something like this, the quality of life, it becomes stressful because, you have to live with people always looking at you or questioning you. And sometimes you have to be to the forefront of things. And they looking at you weird.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I shy away from doing stuff because I don't want to show it.
Right.
But coming towards my birthday, as I did the Facebook post, someone said, Jean, go ahead and tell your story.
Yeah.
Say this will make it easier. It might make it easier for you. Because I still, in the back of my mind, I still be saying, boy, in the next 10 years or so, I'd be so white, I must have to stay home. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But they always saying, you're beautiful. It's
Yeah.
like one of my daughters, she did arts and design. And she was just saying, oh my God, Mommy, this is so pretty. This is so pretty. And
So she took it from an artist point of view.
Yes. And then she showed me this model who also have it, and she's modeling, and she's comfortable in her skin.
That is awesome.
So
I
said,
think that's important. You have to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So there's no cure. I think I read that in your post.
There's no
cure.
There is no
this?
cure. Even though some persons say go to Cuba, and they have they get cured over there, but there is no cure because I know of persons who went to Cuba. They give you stuff, medications to slow it down, steroids that will probably slow it down, but there's no cure, no actual cure.
Yeah.
But I also did that. I took steroids, but I don't really know if it slowed it down or so.
Okay.
But what could activate it is stress.
Yeah. Yeah.
You become stressful. You stress about this, the situation. You stress about you have other
Other issues.
Other issues.
Yeah.
So I tend to put myself in a happy place, not to think about it too much.
Yeah. Well, Jean, I'm not in your position, but we all have issues about ourselves. I didn't like how I looked. I don't like being very dark. I hated being dark. I was tired of people calling me ugly and black. I was tired of that. And I suffered from, inferiority complex because I don't like how I look. And everybody, I believe has something about themselves that they wish, they didn't have.
Yes, could be different.
And a lot of times we are so preoccupied about what people think about us. I think that's the main thing that causes us to act the way we believe, because we're so conscious of what people can think about us. And I think we have to reach a point in our lives that no matter how we look, that it's okay. People will talk about you anyway.
Yes.
We don't know why we were born the way we are born, but we know that we were born for a purpose.
Yes.
And the fact that you have this and you're sharing your story with others, there may be other people like you who are also afraid to, go in public because of vitiligo. And now that you're telling your story, we want this story to inspire people. We want this story to encourage people to just come out from being afraid. Don't stay in the house. Don't stay inside, because nobody see you because your skin is changing colors.
Yes.
That's okay. Just be you, and accept that that there's no cure, but find your purpose and go about your business as any normal person would do.
And that's what I intend to do. So in case you see me getting whiter, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be right here.
That's right. That's right. People are going to talk anyway.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't have this, they'll find something else to say about you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because you would think, when you're in school, persons will, how children tease each other.
Yeah.
But you have the adults doing it.
Of course,
You have
adults
the
are doing it.
adults.
And that's what kids are getting it from. They
you have
see
the
adults do it, so they do it,
Yes, instead of they come and ask you
Yeah.
what it is you have, they just make up stories and
They
say
do.
something something hurtful. But
Yeah. And you are human, even though we want to not pay attention to what people are saying, we are human beings.
yes.
And, words do hurt. And I'm hoping that people will just be conscious of what they say. Are there a lot of people in Turks and Caicos? I know you say in English a lot of people. Are there a lot of people in Turks and Caicos that are facing this? Do you know?
Here in Turks and Caicos, we have few persons with it, and they are living their normal lives as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I see them do it, I try to do the same.
Yeah.
Yes, because there's
Yeah.
nothing else to do. We still have to go out. We
Yeah.
still have to do everything else
Yeah.
and live normal lives.
Then you have your 10 fingers, you have your 10 toes, You
I
know,
thank God.
you're normal, just like all of us. You know, Jean, what do you want to tell the viewers, or are there any areas that we have not discussed about this that you
Well,
want to share?
I would just like to encourage others who might have similar situations. It might not be a skin, it might be some other deformity or so, that it's okay. Once you're alive and well, there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Just go about doing what you know gonna make you happy, gonna make you survive in life. You know, some people stop working, don't want to work or so because of this, but you have to be out there. You have to, and just try to. I try to encourage others. That's why I did it, and that's why I accepted coming onto your show to encourage others who might be facing a similar situation.
Yeah. And before we end, Jean, based on your research, is this hereditary? I mean, do you know if this could pass from generation to generation, or do you know
Well,
what caused this?
There's no definite cause. They did some research and they have different views of people trying to figure out what happened. So they did a research in Iran and they said like 3.35% of the populations, well, those who they interviewed said that it might be hereditary. But for me, I don't know anyone in my family that have it, that has it, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Well, you've been watching the Drexel Seamer show, and today was a good show for me because this is the first time I'm hearing about religio, and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Vitiligo or Vitiligo. My apologies for pronouncing that incorrectly. But this has been educational for me because, you know, I saw Jean. Jean has been friends from childhood. She was my classmate. And I don't know what it is, and I assumed she got burned. I never even asked. I just assumed that she got burned, but I didn't make fun about her. But there are people, obviously, who did. It is a disease that just happens to come upon people. And I hope that, you know, that this show has been, you know, an awakening for you, an eye-opener for you. And that I hope that, you know, you would stop and just learn about the different diseases and about people. And if you really want to know what's happening with anyone, just be bold enough to ask them rather than just making assumptions. So thank you for watching the Drexel Seamer Show. Remember to rise up and take your position.